be real. Being on your period is like being in a dramatic movie you didn't audition for. 1 minute you're fine, and next, you're curled up in pain. Bloated like a balloon, crying your eyes out over a silly commercial, and craving everything from chocolate to an entire pizza. Honestly, shout out to anyone that has ever survived being a woman. By the way, here's the thing. So many women struggle with how to talk about their period in English. How do you naturally say you're cramping? How do you describe your mood swings without sounding like a walking storm cloud? What do you even tell a doctor when things feel off? And guys, wait! I see you hovering over that escape button. Sure, you may never need this vocabulary yourself, but trust me, it wouldn't hurt to know what's happening when the women in your life suddenly look like they're plotting world domination or crying over a cat video. So grab a cup of coffee, let's be honest, an emergency chocolate stash, get comfy, and let's dive in. By everything about period, I meant these topics. And after this video, there won't be anything left that you really want to know about period. Alright, let's start with the first segment. First things first, how to say I have my period in everyday English. There are many ways to say that. I'm on my period. This is the direct, natural way to say that. It's that time of the month. It's a common, slightly indirect way to say that. I'm bleeding. Very casual, but can sound too direct. I'm on my monthly cycle. A softer, more medical sounding phrase. I'm experiencing a downtime. I'm PMSing, or I have PMS, which stands for premenstrual syndrome. Some people use funnier way to say that. Ant flow is in the town, or ant flow is coming. No ant flow, but this is a funny, informal, playful way to refer to your period. Or you can normally say ant flow is visiting. Shark Week or Shark Week has begun, referring to the blood, obviously. The red wave is here, or the red tide is in. Playful and humorous. Or you can simply say, I'm having the hard time, it's that time of the month. Tom is here, which stands for time of the month. A euphemism for having a period. Mother Nature is visiting. I'm on my rag, or I'm on the rag, which is casual but a little old-fashioned. There is also a medical professional term for that. I'm menstruating, used in medical setting but not in casual conversations.
Is it your time of the month?
So, it's that time of the month again, huh?
It's not the right time of the month.
So, if you ever hear a friend say, oh, it's that time of the month again, now you know exactly what they mean. Here's the segment 2. Now let's talk about the common symptoms and how to talk about them. Periods hit differently for everyone. Some women like me get the full nightmare package. Cramps, bloating, mood swings, the whole deal. Some women just get a few symptoms and move on like it's no biggie. And then there are the lucky ones who feel nothing. No pain, no bloating, no suffering. Honestly, are they even human? Scientists, please explain. Now for the rest of us, let's talk about what actually we go through. Here's the first one, cramps. Period pain or abdominal pain. And now I'm gonna tell you how to talk about the period pain like a pro. I have really bad cramps today. Simple and direct. My stomach is killing me because it really feels that way. I get the worst cramps on the first day of my period. First day, more like a judgment day. My stomach feels like it's twisting in knots. Really? Who knew the internal origami was a thing? I feel like my uterus is punching me from inside. Honestly, it's probably in training for a boxing match. I'm curled up in bed with a hitting pad. Send help! and snacks. When pains are getting much more unbearable, you can say, my cramps are killing me. I know, dramatic, but true. I can't even stand up straight. And at this point, I look like a 90-year-old. Let me tell you how to talk about bloating. I feel so bloated. I look 5 months pregnant. Honestly, if I sit too fast, someone might throw me a baby shower. My jeans don't fit today. Thanks, hormones. I'm retaining so much water. Basically, I'm a human water balloon, just waiting to pop. Mood swings, being on an emotional roller coaster. Let's see how to talk about it. I cried over a silly commercial today. No joke. It was about a puppy and friendship, and now I'm emotionally ruined. 1 minute I'm fine, and next I'm raging over nothing. Who moved my coffee cups? I need names. I'm so irritable. I can't deal with people today. And by people, I mean everyone. And in case you want to know what's the meaning of irritable, it means bad-tempered, crotchety, or oversensitive. I'm so moody today. I don't know what I want. Am I mad? Am I sad? Who knows? Certainly not me. I'm a little bitchy today. And by bitchy, I mean easily annoyed, a little aggressive, or may not be ready to start a war over a missing hair tie. And if you value your life, don't test me today. This is the final warning. And here are, what can you say? I could eat an entire pizza today. And then another one, and maybe some fries, and a cake, and... See? Why do I always crave chocolate during my period? Is it science? Is it magic? Whatever it is, give me more. I just want carbs and sugar, and I won't apologize for that. Bread? Yes. Pasta? Yes. Anything that requires butter? Absolutely. If you see me eating peanut butter straight from the jar, okay, mind your own business. This is survival, not a diet.
I've been craving chocolate constantly, but that's okay, right?
You made it through that time of the month with food and mood swing. Let's talk about the next segment. You want to know how to talk about heavy versus light flow and irregular periods? This segment is for you. Not all periods are created equal. Some are light and polite, and some show up like a horror movie. And some, they enjoy keeping you on your toes, never knowing when or if they'll arrive. Let's talk about heavy flow. A lot of bleeding. My period is so heavy, I feel like I'm hemorrhaging. Okay, dramatic, but seriously, how is there this much blood? I have to change my pad every hour, and at this point, I should just live in the bathroom. I looked through my clothes today. Oh, the betrayal, the absolute betrayal. I feel like a murder scene down there. CSI, period edition. And in case you don't know what's a CSI, it's a humorous reference to a popular TV series, Crime Scene Investigation. Here, how you can talk about light flow. My period is super light this time. For once, a little mercy. I barely need a pad. So, do I even call it a period? It's more like a spotting than an actual period. Like it showed up to say hi and leave. Now let's talk about irregular periods. Never on a schedule. My period never comes on time. Punctuality? She doesn't know her. My cycle is all over the place. 1 month it's early and the next month it's on a vacation. Sometimes it skips a month and sometimes it lasts forever. What can't it just chill? I never know when my period's coming. It likes surprises, I guess. I don't. There are also some fancy medical terms for them that no one uses in real life. Menorrhagia, which is ridiculously heavy periods. Oligomenorrhea, irregular periods. And finally, spotting, when your period can't decide if it's coming or not. Basically, periods are unpredictable, messy, and sometimes straight up rude.
You got that heavy flow, girl.
I can't help it if I've got a heavy flow and a wide set vagina.
Menorrhagia, an infection, ovarian cysts.
Here's a segment for PMS, the ultimate monthly drama. PMS, the lovely little pre-show before the main event. For some, it's just mild moodiness, and for other, it's a full-on emotional roller coaster, complete with bloating, craving, and existential crisis. Here's the first one, how to talk about it. I always feel moody before my period. One second I'm fine, and the next, I'm plotting the world domination. I get bloated every time, and at this point, I might as well name my food baby. I crave chocolate like crazy before my period. It's not a craving, it's a medical emergency. There's a fancy medical term for that sounds way too serious. PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. PMS, but cranked up to a nightmare mode.
What do you call a woman who has PMS and ESP at the same time?
This pile of PMS is Alyssa Jones.
Just a little case of PMS, that's all.
Basically, PMS is like a sneak attack. Your body decides to mess with you even if before your period starts. Rude. Now we're going to talk about how often periods happen. A typical cycle is 28 days, but let's be real. Periods follow their own chaotic schedule. I get my period every 28 days, like clockwork. More reliable than my Wi-Fi. My cycle is super irregular. It shows up whenever it feels like it. Like my flaky friends. I only get my period every 2 or 3 months. Lucky? Maybe. Stressful? Absolutely. And of course, if you dare mention a late period, someone always asks, could you be pregnant? Relax, maybe my uterus just hit the snooze button. Basically, periods do what they want, when they want. No rules, no logic, just vibes. Now, let's talk about doctor's visit, medical terms, and the awkward appointment. If your period is acting up, you might need to see a gynecologist, aka a doctor who knows too much about your uterus. You want to explain your symptoms to the doctor? Here we go. My periods are extremely painful. Feels like my uterus is personally offended. I have really irregular cycles. It's like my period is playing hide and seek. I bleed way too much each month. At this point, I should be getting a blood donor card. And of course, the classic. When was your last period? Hold on. Let me check my period tracking app, my calendar, and consult the stars. And what the doctor might ask. Do you experience any clotting? And in case you wonder what clotting is, it's weird jelly-like stuff in your blood. Here's another question that doctors might ask. Are your periods painful or manageable? Painful. Very painful. Next question. And if they suspect a problem, they might recommend Pap smear, the oh so fun test where they scrape your cervix. Yay. Ultrasound, because your uterus loves photo shoots. And blood test to check if your hormones are partying too hard. Birth control pills to allegedly make your cycles behave. And also you should know the doctors you might see, a gynecologist or a gyno, the one who gets too personal with your reproductive system. Endocrinologist, who is the hormone detective.
I'm here to see my gynecologist.
I'm going to be meeting with an endocrinologist soon, though.
Moral of the story: if your period is causing chaos, a doctor might be able to help, or at least give you a fancy medical term for your suffering. Period products: a survival kit for monthly madness. If we have to deal with it every month, we might as well do it in style. Let's see what the options are and what kind of questions we can ask. Pads, sanitary pads or sanitary napkins. Here is what you can say. I need to buy some pads. And of course, I'll do that discreetly by grabbing some of them like a ninja and hiding them under 10 other things in my cart. Do you have a spare pad? And this is a code red situation. Help a sister out. I always carry an emergency pad in my bag because you never know when the Mother Nature will go surprise. And now let's talk about the types of pads. I use overnight pads because my flow is heavy. Basically, this is a mattress for my underwear. Tampons for when you want to feel sporty even if you're not moving. I use tampons because they're more convenient. And between our ears, I'd like to pretend I'm an athlete. Can you grab me a box of tampons? Or I prefer tampons over pads. And if you want to know about the absorbency level, you can find light, regular, super, and super plus because, periods don't believe in consistency. I always start with a super, but then switch to a regular. It's all about strategy, people. And here is another option, menstrual cups. The eco-friendly, money-saving, panic-including options. I just switched to a menstrual cup just to be eco-friendly and also to make my life more stressful while trying to get it out. Menstrual cups last for years, so they save money. One-time buy and then more budget for chocolate. Okay, they take time to get used to, but they work great, trust me. However, once you stop fearing, it is stuck forever, if you know what I mean. Here's a good one, period underwears. Because why not blade straight into your clothes? Good options, aren't they? Here's what you can say about that. I wear period underwear at night to prevent leaks. This is basically my backup security system. They're lifesavers on heavy days when I refuse to trust tampons or pads alone. Here's another option, panty liners, the lightweights of the period world. I use panty liners on my lightest days, like the safety net for my final plot twist. They're great for spotting, for days that your period just can't make up its mind.
Do you have any sanitary pads?
Do you have any tampons?
Usable menstrual cups.
I left one of my panty liners under your pillow.
A whole bunch of shit-stained panty liners down your commodes?
Moral of the story, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. But know this, whatever products you choose to use, have fun changing that in the public restroom. So now you've got all the period lingo slang, symptoms, and even fancy medical terms. No more struggling with words, just struggling with cramps. Now spill the beans in the comments. Which period products do you swear by? And hey, if you enjoyed this, show some love. Like, subscribe, and support so I can keep making these brutally honest lessons.